Hello everyone and thank you for joining me. As I said in my last video, today I'm going to attempt and do a sketch and then I guess ink painting using the Hero Faber Castell TG1-S set, a technical pen set. I had this in my collection for a couple of years now, shortly before I started this channel, so I guess 4 to 5 years or something like that. I used to use it a lot, pretty much every day, and I used to have it in my pen bag. What I'm showing in here is basically what you have in the set. You have 3 technical pens. I believe there's sets that contains more than just 3, but when I looked at it, I've seen this one. I actually picked up 2 of them. The one that I haven't used yet is still in the original box, and it's literally a new old stock kind of a thing, still is. And it did come with ink, it did come with all the other thingy majikis that I assume you use them with a plotter, something that I do not need. And you also have like a transparent barrel that looks like a transparent barrel, that it's actually the key, quote unquote, that you use it to actually disassemble the technical pens. What I liked about these technical pens is that the cap actually has a sponge that will, well, you add water to it, and then basically it will keep your, I guess, tip of the needles moist in order for the ink not to dry. I don't know if you remember, if you've been watching my channel for a while, last year I did a review to a Staedtler, I believe it was, technical pen with a very fine nib, which by the way I loved, and I still love, but the problem with that one is that the ink was drying very fast in that needle, and cleaning it was a real pain in the butt. That's one pen that will definitely benefit from some type of sponge that you can add in order to keep your needle moist or wet. That's why I really like these technical pens, and I always they will always be my go-to when I want to use one. The only thing with them is that the set that I have doesn't come with very fine needles. What I'm using in the drawing right now, I'm using the finest that it is, which I think the markings kind of went away, but if I remember correctly, it was a 0.05 maybe, or something like that. And it works, it's as fine as you can get, and I like it, but at the same time it's kind of wet. So for my type of drawing, my style was a little bit hard to get it working the way I want when you kind of get those interrupted lines. With this one, it's like it's either on or off. So I kind of had to find my way around how to use it specifically on this paper. And yeah, these are my favorite technical pens. I believe Faber Castell, they also had their own lineup. They didn't really have a collaboration with Hero. I think you can still find them on eBay. I never got around to actually get a set. If I will ever get a chance, I'll bring them and I'll try and make a comparison between these and those ones. But until then, I only have these ones and I do like them. The only odd thing that I guess maybe is not that nice about them, if you go back to when I was showing the first pen that I picked up from the box, there were some cracks that started to develop on the section, I guess you could call it section. I don't know how it affects the pen and how and if ink will start to actually seep through those cracks. So far I did not have that issue. Hopefully I won't, question mark. I guess the real problem will be that eventually if it keeps on cracking, it will just self-destruct by crumbling itself to death, basically. I'm not there yet. Hopefully I won't get there anytime soon. For now, I'll enjoy them as they are. As a funny thing though, so after I bought them, I probably used them very extensively for like 2 years. And then they'd be sitting in the shelf as I was shifting through the pens until I, remember I had them. So here they are. I picked them up again. Love working with them. Is just that, like I mentioned, doesn't really fit my style, or at least the style that I've been developing over the years. It's either on or off. You'll see me here and there. I'm trying to staple things around and build the values that way, and it works actually pretty well. Stapling is just, obviously, it will be more time consuming, something that usually I won't have time for, especially for these videos that I'm trying to do as short as possible. Speaking of, because I couldn't really work the value as I usually do, this drawing actually was pretty fast. Didn't really took me a long time, hence the video for today. It's a little bit shorter than usual, which probably it's a good thing. It doesn't take too much time out of your life. And I kind of had to find my way around a little bit. I don't think I ever used these technical pens on the cotton paper, the cold hand press ones. I might go back and try it out and see how it works. Compare with the other technical pen from Staedtler that I tried last year. Like I mentioned, I wish it would be as fine as the Staedtler, but the ink was drying way too much. I actually ended up buying another Staedtler because I ruined the needle when I tried to clean the first one that I had. What happened is, with these pens, basically you have a very, very fine needle that goes inside the tube, that it's also as fine as you can get. Basically, the outside of the tip of these pens are the quote-unquote tube. Then you have a needle that goes inside that tube. And that's what kind of guides the ink through that tube, and then, you use the needle to do your drawings on the page. And usually when it clogs, the finer the tip, the more prone to clogging it is, and harder to clean is. The first pen from Staedtler, not these Faber Castell ones, basically I had to remove the needle from inside that contraption at the end of the pen. Something that usually is not recommended to do. As a matter of fact, oops, I dropped my pen, sorry about that. As a matter of fact, the actual manufacturer never recommends to remove it. But unfortunately, sometimes in order to try and declog the pen, you have to do that. But you take a huge risk, especially when the tip is very, very fine. Something that, I did, I screwed up, and I paid the price. Fun to reuse these pens again. I like them. You can't really find them, especially not this kit that I have, but you can find newer-ish, quote-unquote, hero technical pens. From what I understand, the quality on those ones is not as good as these ones, the older models. I was lucky when I found them. I found them back then on AliExpress, and I got 2 sets, like I mentioned. I've been using one of it, the other one I'm keeping it in case, these ones are dying on me, considering that the section is starting to crack. I do plan to get the actual Faber Castell ones. Hopefully they are better quality and they don't have the cracking issue. If you have that by any chance, let me know if it's worth the money, and or if they suffer from the same issues as these ones. Anyway, I think that's it for today. My drawing was fairly simple, more of a sea creature, I guess. I wasn't exactly sure what to do with the legs, so they turned out maybe a little bit odd. I was a little bit lighter on using the fountain pen ink as a wash, and I think that helped with the sketch stand up a little bit more, which I like. And but I still think I can finesse it a little bit more. But this, I guess, in the videos to come. Until then, thanks for joining me as usual, and I wish you nothing but the best and a wonderful day or night, whatever you are. Take care. Bye.